One of the most infamous fires in American fire service history started as a small rubbish fire behind the Charleston Sofa Superstore in Charleston, South Carolina on June 18, 2007. When firefighters arrived on scene to the Charleston Sofa Superstore, they found a fire on the back side of the showroom between the showroom and the warehouse in an area that they could not get to. When they finally made entry, they found the fire next to the loading dock beginning to impinge on the actual showroom floor itself. Firefighters quickly made entry into the showroom to make sure that there were no employees or guests inside, in an attempt to make sure the fire hadn't spread inside. Unfortunately, inside the Sofa Superstore, there was a drop ceiling where the fire had likely already spread by the time they made entry. Very quickly inside the building, it went from almost perfect visibility to no visibility in a very short time span. And around 7:26 p.m., about 20 minutes after the fire started, an individual inside the building called 911 to state that they had been trapped inside the building and needed to be rescued. It was just 1 minute after this that the first distress calls came in from firefighters lost inside the building, but it was lost among radio transmissions and was not answered. Several other firefighters over the next several minutes would make other distress calls saying they were lost inside the building, but they would all go unanswered until an off-duty battalion chief showed up to inform the fire chief on scene that firefighters were lost inside the building. At this time, it was unknown exactly how many firefighters were trapped inside the building, but one firefighter was seen at one of the front windows trying to escape, so firefighters on the outside broke the window to allow him to get out. Unfortunately, this added oxygen to the fire, which allowed it to quickly deteriorate. At 7:32 p.m., one firefighter is heard saying over the radio, "Car 1, please tell my wife I love you." It was at this time that all of the firefighters in the exterior of the building broke all of the windows on the front of the store, which allowed the fire to rapidly grow and reach flashover conditions. At 7:45 p.m., just 37 minutes after the first 911 call was received, the roof of the superstore collapses with 9 firefighters still trapped inside, killing all of them. There were several issues that led to the deaths of these firefighters. Poor water supply with cars driving over supply lines that had been run across a 4-lane highway, a lack of a centralized command, poor radio traffic control, a lack of understanding of the construction of the building itself with the drop ceiling, and a host of other things that led to this disaster. The Charleston Sofa Superstore fire still remains the second deadliest structure fire disaster for firefighters since 9/11, just after the West Texas explosion in 2013. Now, in the aftermath of this fire, the Charleston Fire Department made several upgrades. They have better equipment, they have better water supply habits, they have better scene size up, they have a centralized command for fire incidents. All of these things will help to lead to this disaster never happening again. But June 18th will always be a day to remember the loss of the Charleston 9.